Yep, there's Epic Games again. Well, anyway, hello everyone, and welcome back, once again, to Alan Wake 2. But all that aside, let's get back to the game. We've still yet to find out how Alan actually got out of the dark place, and we won't know until we get, back home, back to our apartment. The writer of the first word, not the writer of the last, but the terror of the light and the shadow cast. The third something now open to project the night. This is the moment. Oh, the third eye now open to project the night. This is the moment to write. This is the ritual to lead you on. Your friends will meet him when you're gone. In this last part, it's gotten so much more confusing for me, because I feel like there's huge portions of this story that I'm not understanding, such as Alex Casey existing in the real world, being part of the group to discover Alan. And it makes me wonder, what is a product of his writing, what parts of the world have been influenced by the Dark Presence, and what was always real? Of course, there's an argument to be made for none of the events of these games being real, for all of this being a projection of Thomas Zane.
Stepping to the murder site, I'd felt it, hanging in the air. A meaning, the violent emotion of the act, like a cloud of wrath. The dead eyes of the victim staring at something you couldn't see, and yet making you aware of it. Something had soaked into this place on a molecular level, overlapping with your meaningless existence. Regression to something you had managed to forget. Marking you, taking you for a ride, making you crazier.
And this Alex Casey is right at the center of my confusion. He's a person in the real world who is seemingly aware of the fiction novels, but I don't understand how he plays different roles between Alan and the real world. I don't know, I think somehow he's going to be the key to all this. Also, I was trying to think what was familiar about him. I mean, obviously, I've seen Sam Lake be used as a model for other characters, but he's actually sharing the same voice actor as Max Payne, and a lot of memories came flooding back once I realized that. And we're descending ever deeper. I was kind of hoping we'd be getting street level again soon. Oh, look at that. The lights are on. The graffiti doesn't cover this place. But these platforms just seem to go on forever. I mean, even more so than the real New York City subway system. And who is this Mr. Door? I'm starting to think that maybe he's...
The station had changed. I was closer now.
I'm starting to think that maybe he is the new form that the Dark Presence has taken. Before, it was the Veiled Woman, and now him. Oh, look, even the things that I had opened before are still open. But it is going to give me some new stuff. Let's grab a light to carry with us. We're not out of the woods yet. At least these signs have decided to start appropriately labeling themselves. Well, we've arrived at our station.
Parliament Tower. Our home in New York. Was I really this close to being home? Going up to our apartment? Would I be home? Or was this just an echo of the real thing? Even then, the murder site had brought me one step closer to escape.
I feel like in all good horror stories, things always end where they began. In this case, Alan's horror story started 13 years ago when he decided to leave his apartment and come to Bright Falls. So it's only fitting that his escape should be from
The
here.
payphone at the edge of the plaza was ringing again.
But once again, I can't help but feel that his escape is engineered rather than managed on his part. Or at least this thing is going to be working it into its plans.
Hey, Alan. Thank God he picked up. I thought I lost you again.
Who are you? Why are you helping me?
Did you go deeper? To the overlap?
Are you talking about the murder site? Yeah, I did. I
That's fantastic, Alan. We're closer to getting out. We're making progress.
Well, we would be if you would answer my damn questions.
Last time we spoke, you were pretty worried about Alice. Did you ever check Parliament Tower? To make sure she really got out of the dark place?
Well, of course she got out. That's why I'm here. That's the whole goddamn point.
Be very careful, Alan. The dark presence is stealing from you. It can already manifest as your double. Scratch will come.
Wait, hello?
You know, come to think of it, I haven't seen any more shadows on the streets since emerging. I'm sorry, if I'm having a hard time commentating, it's because this whole time I'm trying to piece together what's real and what isn't. For example, we learned about the goings-on of the cult of burning the torchbearers in the subway car. But is that something that really happened, or is that just something that I wrote about in the moment? Time becomes very weird when reality is influenced by Alan's writing, because it almost seems like he's maybe making things happen retroactively in the real world. I can still hear you out there. Okay, we don't need the flashlight for now.
Maybe the writer. Maybe he was a victim. The cult, using his words. Or maybe he was the monster behind it all. Either way, Alice Wake, his ex, she knew things. It was there in her art for all to see. A cry for help. The darkness she'd witnessed. And that put her in danger.
Was Alice here? In the story?
Casey referring to her as his ex suggests that she got out. I mean, we saw it at the end of the other one, but I don't know. We can't believe anything we see, can we? I had never even considered that she could still be here until the voice on the phone told us so. You're really gonna sit in the back of this elevator and not have your gun drawn pointed at the doors? Yeah, that's why! Oh my god, I still can't believe this game is JPEG jump scaring me.
Alice's photo equipment. Set to go off when the door opens.
That actually sounds quite smart. That would surely neutralize any shadows or taken that tried to make their way up here, right? And we do know that light alone can destroy them in large enough bursts.
Get out! Leave me alone!
Alice! Alice!
No way. Where are you? Pick photos for exhibition
Alice.
posters.
This is a photo of Scratch. How did Alice get this? Is he stalking her?
Something's not right here.
This is the door to my study, where I wrote my books. This symbol wasn't here before.
What does that symbol mean? This also isn't... This isn't what the apartment looked like in the previous game, or at least I don't think so. Where is she?
Alice's video camera.
Locate the memory
No memory card
card.
inside.
Okay, so there's an SD somewhere. but she's still nowhere to be found. She probably locked herself in the study. Video art doc on screens. Focal point of the dark place. Kind of funny now how, although the game doesn't seem to expect you to, graphical fidelity has reached the point where I can just read these notes on the table. An SD card labeled Part 1. She wouldn't have left this for herself.
memory
This
card.
looks like it was left for someone else to find. Let's have a look. I saw there was a projector hanging on the shelf.
When I was younger, photography was everything to me. I moved to New York thinking I'd make it as an artist. And then I met Alan. We had a good thing. We were both dedicated by our creative ambitions. The only difference was that Alan's work made money. He brought me work when he could. I took his promo shots, created covers for his books. I'm sure he forced his publisher into it. I was taking photos, just not my photos. And that gnawed at me. Things got complicated sometimes, but that's life, right? We loved each other. Then Alan hit a block. I brought out a meaner side of him. One I didn't like. I set up a trip to see a doctor in Washington. I didn't tell him until we got there. We argued. Things went wrong. And he was just gone. Drowned, allegedly.
This had to have been recorded after,
It's easy for people to think it was my fault.
but she has no memory of anything that
I like you,
happened.
too, sometimes. About 6 years ago, I started hearing noises in the night. Typewriter keys clacking. Voices. Alan was back. Haunting me. Then it got violent. It was Alan. And yet, it was a monster. He always did have anger in him. I set up cameras around the apartment with motion sensors and flashes. Now, when the monster comes, I turn it into art. My nightmares caught on film. And this is the focus of my new exhibition. To show people the world is so much darker than they ever knew. I'm calling this exhibit The Dark Place.
Alice. Scratch was terrorizing her. Why?
It's easy to say that, but for us to have adopted the name that she gave to this art exhibition, I'm starting to wonder if maybe... Look, the Dark Presence feeds on creative abilities, right? Or at least creative ambition. Does that mean that maybe this could be a product of her own work and not ours? I mean, it seems that this dark place, the talk show, the streets of New York City, that's all new to Alan. I mean, it all started with waking up in that green room and talking to Mr. Dorr. Also, it's gotta hurt to find out that not only is she still being tormented, that maybe her sacrifice was for nothing, but in the same breath to learn that she wasn't as happy as you maybe thought.
I sat in the writer's room and wrote a story. Initiation. To project myself through the dark place, to look for a way out. The story had brought me here, brought me nowhere. Looped me back. I was writing the story. And in the story, I now stepped into the writer's room. But there was no one here writing it.
Do you see why this is stupid? Oh wow, that was really... how immersive, you know, getting invested in that haunting moment. You know, learning that Scratch is still in control, that maybe more powerful than me in influencing this, and then, you know, boop, boop. But yeah, I guess that's just something we're gonna have to deal with. Every time there's a significant story beat, we're gonna have to listen to what sounds like a Samsung dishwasher going off. Also, I want to call attention to this because this is the first episode I'm recording after finding this out. They actually recorded their own music for these outros. And that's really cool because I was really worried about that after the first game, but apparently they actually had more trouble than I did with that. They were actually delisted from Steam for a while because the licenses for the songs expired, and so they came prepared this time.
Okay, let's recap what you've told us so far, Alan. For the past 13 years, you've been trapped in a nightmare dimension called the Dark Place.
Yeah.
It's like New York, but it's not New York. And can be reached from the bottom of Cauldron Lake, but it's not really under the lake. And after all this time, you've managed to get out.
Yeah.
Oh, what, now you don't believe
So has
him?
your evil doppelganger, Mr. Scratch? Or is it the Dark Presence?
Both. It's interchangeable. He's Scratch when he looks like me, but he can change into this other form.
And Scratch, the Dark Presence, wants to rewrite the world in his own image.
Which would be in your image, as he looks just like you.
And turn the world into a fucking nightmare.
During Deerfest, which is scheduled to take place in a couple of days. You got out of the Dark Place by writing a novel, the pages we've been finding. But your double edited it into a horror story that's now changing reality, taking over people,
Yeah.
making them crazy, bringing the Dark Place to Bright Falls.
Yes, fiction coming in contact with the dark place can change reality. The story is coming true, soaking into everything like darkness when night falls. But last time
This will be back in 2010.
Yes, last time it didn't happen all at once. The story came true bit by bit as it unfolded. And that dark presence was still bound to the lake. I stopped it before it got the ending it wanted. Before it broke free. Based on that, there's still time.
Which brings us to your magical light switch.
The clicker. Magical doesn't quite cover it. Scratch wants it to bring about his ending. That can't happen. If I can get the clicker, I can send him back to the dark place and make all this shit go away. Look, I know it's batshit crazy. My memory is full of holes, and I'm not sure how much I can trust. It's like a half-forgotten dream.
The deer are not what they seem.
Mr. Wake. Alan. We've seen our share of batshit crazy in the past 24 hours. What I want to know is, why am I? Why are we written into the story?
I think I saw you. Or a vision of you in the dark place. I think you helped me reach out and escape somehow. With that in the story, Scratch would have edited it to get to you. To hurt you. We are all in danger.
I'm imagining our connection, our closest with him, probably came about when we went into the overlap.
It's insane. And there's so much of it. Have you ever heard of the Cult of the Tree?
Creepy bunch. In the habit of wearing deer masks, performing murder rituals, victims turning into monsters possessed by darkness, possibly inspired by a horror story written by a certain author. Ring any bells?
The cult. Yes. Yes. They have the clicker.
So how did they come into possession of it?
If the cult has the clicker, does that make them Scratch's followers? How are you so certain they even have the clicker?
They could be working for Scratch. I don't remember. It's all confused.
Alan, if I'm gonna act on this information, you need to be honest with me.
Yeah, of course.
Is he confused? Or is he hiding something?
Okay, so we're gonna have to go to our Mind Palace again, which seems just a little bit redundant, don't you think? But let's check it out. We have got things to place on the case board.
Wake just gave us a lot of information. But this clicker seems like a good place to start. If we find that, then we find the cult.
Weren't you listening? It kind of sounds like we need to find the cult to find the clicker. Sounds like you've got that backwards. I was already looking into the cult. 2 birds, 1 stone. But they're talking about 2 cults, the Cult of the Word in New York and the Cult of the Tree over here. Does that mean that there could be different branches elsewhere? Now, as for the Cauldron Lake murders, we have a new wash-up.
Missing for 13 years, shows up murdered, and then turns into a monster. After I stop Nightingale, a rider who's also been missing for 13 years turns up. What's the connection? What kind of case is this?
That's the thing. They're all coming back. So I don't know... I really don't know if Alan actually was able to escape on his own. Time to do some profiling. The Bookers, Nightingale, and Wake. The cult and the clicker.
Wake said the cult has the clicker. How does he know?
The writer is the reader. The next chapter, the next chapter, the next chapter. Keep the pages safe, the dark shining of the words.
Wake is hiding pages. That's how he knows the cult has the clicker.
Oh, now there's a thought. Even though we were just playing as Alan again, we are playing from the perspective of Saga. There's actually a real possibility that they could have our old player character lie to us, or at least by omission.
Wake has a double. Mr. Scratch. Where is he now?
A cloud of wrath wears my face. The dark place in your place. Scratching out my body of work.
Scratch is here. In Washington. He's hunting Wake.
So how's that gonna shake out?
Scratch looks just like Wake. Why?
Don't wake up the dreamer if your life is a dream. I swam to the shore, but the water is rising.
Wake and Scratch are clearly connected. Maybe Scratch got out because Wake did. Or vice versa.
If it is vice versa, then maybe letting Wake out of the dark place was actually a necessity to go forward and try and complete this plan. And Scratch is just hoping, the Dark Presence is just hoping that he'll be powerless to do anything about it? Sorry guys, just daydreaming. By the way, I found out your secrets.
Okay, Mr. Wake. I know you have more pages of the manuscript on you.
You don't understand how vital these pages are. They're the only way I can know what's coming.
You're not the only one trying to solve this. This is our job.
Okay. Here. Now, this is all I have. Be careful with them.
Okay, smokers.
Inside the trailer, at the outskirts of Watery, Saga had seen Wake's fabled clicker for the first time, in the hands of the Cult of the Tree.
Ilmo mentioned that
A cultist
area.
stared at her. She drew her weapon.
Wait, now some of you had said actually that he doesn't read the whole thing. So if we go to the Mind Palace...
Standing inside the trailer, at the outskirts of Watery, Saga had seen Wake's fabled clicker for the first time, in the hands of the Cult of the Tree. Her mind reeled from what the horror story was now claiming about her. Her life, her past. She didn't accept it. She stepped out of the trailer. She needed air. But she wasn't alone. A cultist stared at her from behind a deer mask. She drew her weapon, shouted, ran after him.
It's starting to seem like maybe we didn't actually exist before the latest round of his writing. And then there's the whole thing with Rose talking about how our daughter drowned. Then that close call with it nearly happening in the real world. I mean, maybe that's the back and forth between Alan and Scratch. And if that's the case, that means there's still potential for things to go wrong in that direction. Now, what happened here? What is supposed to have spilled here? Alright, so we know now that the cult has the clicker, and they're holding it in a trailer in the direction of Watery.
It's all on the page. The clicker, the cult. Okay, I'll head to Watery and find this trailer.
Alone.
Casey, you stay here and keep an eye on Mr. Wake.
Got it.
No, you need me there.
No dice, pal. This is an FBI investigation, and I don't see a badge on that flannel.
Even now, Alan can't escape criticism of his fashion choices, even though we presumably provided him with these clothes. From now on, you can switch between Alan and Saga's stories via the bucket in the janitor's break room. Feel free to play in whatever order you choose. You just feel the malevolence from that room, like something's trying to crawl out of there and get to Alan. I love how he stops staring as I turn to look at him. What a mind screw that must be, to see the character from his novels staring at him from the edge of the table. Switch reality. Okay, well, I am going to head out and go try and find the clicker, okay? This game is giving me so much to think about. It's really... What's cool about it is how existential it is in its horror. Sorry for not listening to the local townies.
No, thank you.
Hello, and welcome to Camping World, Bojangles, Washington.
It's just bombarding me with stuff.
Park. All of our attractions are family friendly and available to children of all ages.
Even
Just
adults.
like our coffee.
Huh, so you're the ones
take a
leaving these
sip of our
thermoses
Dear
everywhere.
Diner organic coffee and let the adventure begin.
This game is so cool about like the way it merges live action with gameplay. But it actually leads into what I was saying a second ago, how this game is so existential in its horror. And I feel like Alan's actor, his physical actor, I mean, really does a good job of conveying that by his face, doesn't he? I mean, when he appears on that couch, you feel the bewilderment. It's just constantly making you question your own reality, and it does that for Saga as well. I mean, like I said, we're starting to wonder if we even existed prior to the beginning of this story. I mean, for all we know, we materialized into existence in that shot where we were driving down the road to come investigate this murder. Casey not saying anything about the cult he investigated in New York until he was prompted on it. I love how this game even gives you the option to take a walk around the streets and clear your head after learning all this.
Yako, we're going to a cool guy's house to drink some brewskis. Are you coming? No, Ilmo. I'm very busy wearing a turtleneck and drinking wine. Like an asshole. Oh dear, I know what Yako needs. Amabir to the rescue!
This is some truly incredible advertising.
Wolverine with Amabir.
It's crazy. I feel like as much effort has gone into this game as like a full season of a TV show.
Thanks, Amabir.
I really feel like narratives in gaming are going to be pushed forward by this because it really feels like every scene is something new and different. New mechanics, new animations, new enemies, and just... it's so crafted in each and every moment and doesn't feel like a collection of mechanics.
In the sauna, using your beer can to hide your pippeli from wandering eyes. Partaking in the Finnish tradition of kalsarikännit, drinking at home alone in your underwear with no intentions of going out. It's not sad if it's intentional.
Ilmo is everything I aspire to be.
Amabir, your Finnish drinking adventure starts here.
It's a good thing we're going out his way. Maybe I can learn from him like a wise old monk. Because each enemy encounter feels unique and choreographed and with a purpose, you remember it the same way you remember action scenes in a movie or show. Each one actually sticks out because of how it made you feel in that moment. And we do actually have the ability to travel across the map at will. This game is nuts.
Yeah, Anderson, I didn't want to say this in front of Wake, but are you sure this is a good idea? Going on your own?
Assuming we believe the page, I need to check this out. We need to find the cult. Anyone we meet here could be a member. And this Scratch guy.
The evil doppelganger? Must be true, or else this guy can't write for shit.
The quality of his writing aside, if this page turns out to be true like the rest have, this could be a breakthrough. We might solve this thing before backup even arrives.
Don't count on it.
They're taking their time, so just be careful out there. Meanwhile, I think me and Wake will have a chat. Maybe I can shake something loose.
Okay. But remember what happened with the Salt Shaker?
Yeah, real funny.
An entire history together that I'm beginning to suspect isn't even real.
The page placed me in a trailer, somewhere in Watery. I should ask around.
And this game has continued to look gorgeous in other ways. Look, the reflections of the freshly fallen mist on the street, the fog falling over these dead bare trees, and a lighthouse. Is that maybe the lighthouse from Alan's dream? I have a feeling we'll be going over there at some point. Maybe we can ask around? Nope, you're all just gonna kind of stand around idly, doing your idly animations. What else is there to do in a town like this, huh? Wait.
Okay then. Catchy tune.
It's the janitor. The one from Alan's, well, I was gonna say Alan's dream, but from the Dark Place. Had they maybe met before? Alan didn't seem to remember so. It seems there's a strong Finnish population over in this area.
Excuse me. Do you know where... Hush! Artie's in the middle of a show. I wonder if I'm the first FBI agent to ever get shushed.
Also, who are you? Is that... Wow, actually turns out old janitor's got pipes. That's pretty awesome. Wait, whoa, wait, that, those lyrics right there. Might want to bring you in for questioning, maybe? I wouldn't be surprised if you're the devil in disguise. I mean, you did guide Alan to the lamp. Maybe you wanted him to escape. Maybe he's part of the plan. Maybe... Alan had speculated that maybe he needed to escape or Scratch to escape, but maybe they just need him for another murder. Everywhere I go just ends up raising more questions, but we can get a map right here. Hey, can you help?
Hello? Do you have a second?
Long time and no see, Miss Anderson. Thor and Odin are not here. They are old tricksters always sneaking off.
Sorry, no, I wanted to ask you about something else.
I'm looking for a trailer. Huh, so those two guys are still kicking, huh?
Can you point me to any trailers around here?
Sure. Watery Lighthouse Trailer Park. Ilmo Koskela owns it. He owns many things in town.
And where is Ilmo?
I saw Ilmo and his brother at the bridge. Well, what used to be the bridge.
The bridge is out?
Do you live around here?
I live in Bright Falls. You have seen me around. I am Mr. Blum. You call me Vladimir. I work at a nursing home. I take care of your old people. We are on day trip, music, sauna, the good times. I bring them here in the bus.
The elderly are very important. And it's a very nice bus. Thanks.
Sorry to spend this whole episode just gushing about the level of custom work that's gone into this game, but all the NPCs just look and feel so much like real people, don't they? Like, there's so much variety. They don't feel like they're all made off of, like, the same 3 templates. I don't know if we've learned yet, but maybe the nursing home that we're hearing about is actually the remains of the old lodge where Dr. Hartman used to
Mom's
work.
family was from Sweden. I've always imagined it kind of like this. Saunas, lakes. Seems nice.
It does seem nice. Seriously, all jokes aside, this seems like my kind of place.
Enjoying the sauna?
You bet. The steam is amazing on my creaky old joints. I'm just waiting for Ahti to wrap up his show so we can crack open some beers.
I've read that taking a sauna is good for preventing dementia.
Yeah, and so is beer.
Alright, let's talk business.
Ever heard of the Cult of the Tree?
The half-deer, half-man monsters? Oh, sure I've heard of them. They're the reason I can't risk taking walks in the forest anymore. If one of them shows up, how am I supposed to get away? I can't run with a bad hip.
You don't need to
I'd
run
be
when you have a
killed
gun.
For sure. I could maybe use my crutches to defend myself. Do you think that'd work? You're the professional.
Probably smart just to stay in the sauna for now.
Okay, so word's getting around. People are talking about them. That one cult member that we fought, he had the darkness shimmer, but dude was built like a truck, even aside from that.
A sauna doesn't fix what ails ya. You're a goner.
They also say silence is golden.
You guys got anything to say? No? Okay.
Have you heard old Pat's radio show lately? Yeah, I fear he's losing his grip on reality.
What do you mean?
I don't care to listen to pointless jibber jabber. Not on the radio, and not in the sauna.
No, just take that. I'm sure you won't mind. Losing his mind. So is he actually just getting up there in years, or well, is it a question more of him seeing things that other people don't believe him about? In this town, it could go either way.
Whew.
Oh, wow.
Hot.
Hot and humid. And complete with a little rubber ducky. I believe Sam Lake is Finnish, so makes sense why there would be so much influence exerted over this game.
Nice and quiet.
A trailer park. Ilmo Koskela. He's that tour guide we met at Cauldron Lake. I need to find him.
So we gotta take a walk up the road. Are you the local tow truck driver? Maybe you know something? Or maybe not? Excuse me, sir, in this shady alley. You don't mind me just kind of snooping around, right?
Hey,
You're actually friendlier than I thought.
Where is the time gone? There's just a wretched husk of what used to be me left.
Okay, thanks for oversharing. I am the FBI, you realize that, right?
A vote for Mayor Setter is a vote for everyone. For Watery!
Mayor Seta will stand up for justice.
Stand up for justice, won't roll over. And not very good in a fire situation then, is he? Alright, let's make our way up the road and see what we can do. We're really just leaving boats wherever, huh? Now, they had told us that the bridge was out, probably the reason for the closure.
Hey, Saga! Over here!
Ah, Ilmo! Oh, long time no see. And your buddy from the ad.
Hey, Ilmo. How did your walk in the woods with Steven go?
Another satisfied customer. I just hope he remembers to write a good review on the webpage. Great to see you back in Watery, Saga. Everyone in town missed you. Super nice to see you again, Saga.
They act like they've known me for years. This keeps happening.
Yeah, that is weird. I was wondering if we weren't maybe just from the area, but we know that we were meeting Ilmo for the first time before. Saw my sweater, asked about my heritage.
Are you familiar with the Cult of the Tree?
Yeah, we always thought it was an urban legend. Kids drawing creepy symbols to scare each other, but, now it's gotten pretty damn real, huh? It's terrible what happened. We're all in shock.
Well, we're looking into it. Hoping to get things back to normal soon.
We're all for that. As normal as it ever gets around here.
You own the trailer park, right? Mind if I take a look inside?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the owner of the Watery Lighthouse Trailer Park, me, can help you with that. It's good to have our funniest resident back.
Resident? I don't understand what you mean.
If this is your way of getting out of any outstanding bills, don't worry. They've been handled. Must be hard coming back to where you and your little girl lived.
It's like they remember a different reality. Is the horror story messing with their memories?
Or is it messing with mine?
So what is Coffee World?
You mean you haven't seen our commercial for it? Coffee World is a smooth blend of rides, food, and fun. We even had a real moose. Until recently.
Oh, you ran out of burger meat?
Plus, right next to Coffee World is the workshop of our own Kalevala Knights Motorcycle Club. We're busy building the floats for Deerfest. Don't go peeking, though. You know, we're saving the big reveal for Deerfest.
Oh, great. There's a Deer Float 2.0. Also, you're just kind of like the local guy, huh? I mean, you wear many hats figuratively as well as literally.
So, your commercials?
They're more than commercials, Saga. Our goal is to both entertain and educate local viewers about the fine products and services we provide. And, Jaakko here really comes alive in front of the camera. Really. Fuck off. I'm just there for the free beer. Not sure what Ilmo's excuse is. Hey, I'm writer, producer, co-lead, director. Do yourself a favor and, check them all out.
Huh, so it's kind of like what Sam Lake does at Remedy. Alright, well, we've definitely got to look into them some more. I mean, this is a whole town talking about this. There were times in the first game where it felt like we were being gaslighted, but it turned out that Dr. Hartman really was screwing with us. This is something more. Got nothing to say, huh?
This?
I mean, I'm not an expert in flooding, but I don't see why not. Alright, let's head to the palace and see what she makes of all this.
A trailer park is a good place to look for a trailer. Keep it simple, Saga.
I guess we'll have to have Ilmo take us over there to learn more in that department, but there's plenty more to see.
The pages we've been finding are from a horror story called Return, written by Alan Wake, and the contents of this book are coming true. Why couldn't it have been a romance?
Oh wow, we have so much to put into this. Okay, there's an entity inside the Dark Place called the Dark Presence. And that entity is the thing that lives in the lake, manifesting sometimes as Scratch. But it can take whatever form it wants, presumably. They're weakened by the flashlight, and presumably light in general, although it seems to be exerting a greater influence over the day itself. Wake was trapped in the Dark Place for 13 years. Where you got this photograph from, I have no idea. Now, Wake said fiction coming into contact with the Dark Place has the power to change reality. That's why it needs to draw creatives in order to make use of that power. But here he says the story changes reality bit by bit, the process is gradual. So the question is, can it be changed back if that influence is broken, or are these changes permanent? Now, if it does change gradually, that also begs the question, will we eventually forget? Will our memories change to support what everyone else seems to have already started to accept? Now there's the question of the overlap and what that actually means. I mean, presumably it's a literal overlap between the Dark Place and the real world. But before, I would have assumed that that's only at the bottom of the lake. But it seems like that's not exclusively the case anymore. Okay, it's actually kind of interesting, story-wise, how just as I was at, like, the height of my confusion, it is starting to put some more things into context. The trailer says Anderson.
Wake says the story will change reality around us. If that's true, then I need to know what's real and what's fiction.
Yeah, okay, but that's... Do you already know? Was I not supposed to look at this until later? I'm a resident of this trailer park. And how bad does the FBI pay? So Ilmo owns this place, calls me the funniest resident. I mean, maybe we should just accept a compliment when we get one? And Rose recognized me in the diner, says I moved away after Logan died. I would be frantic to call her at this point. This is personal now. Logan isn't dead, but what else did the story change about her life? We're on a ticking clock now. I mean, if the process is gradual, that means that clues, not just manuscript pages, but clues that we learn from people and the environment around us can help us predict what will happen next. I feel like profiling Ilmo would be nearly impossible. He seems like he's just kind of built different, but I suppose we'll have to try.
Ilmo thinks the cult is just an urban legend. Or does he?
There are things that go bump in the night. It's all true. It's all true. Sound the alarm, brother. Gather the troops, brother. Jaakko, the shadow of the forest is creeping closer.
They don't think it's an urban legend at all. They understand it's dangerous.
Have we uncovered this game's equivalent to the Bookhouse Boys?
Ilmo made it sound like I lived here. Does he really believe that?
Light, laughter, and love will guide you home. Saga and her daughter. Oh boy. Happy faces raise property value. Family comes first, Ilmo. We take care of her trailer while she's gone. She's one of us, Jaakko. Her spare key is safe and sound.
The Koskela brothers have happy memories of me living here. This must be the story affecting them. I'll play along for now. I need the key to that trailer.
I'm gonna once again bring up, I'm not sure if it's their memories being affected or mine. I'd like to see my trailer. Oh wait, hang on, I have to restart the game again. It's doing the high GPU usage. Wait, there's still things we can look at here. All number of names here, and one post-it saying Lumi Mert. Maybe there's some significant names on here. Is this Watery's own Nessie? An anonymous source sent this photograph to our editors, claiming it was captured during the last full moon. A majestic beast hidden in the depths of the water? Or an elaborate prank? A sea creature that defies the very laws of nature? Or a submarine relic from the Cold War era? A lonely wanderer searching for companionship and compassion? Or a fearsome monster out for blood? These questions, among others, haunt our editorial team here at the Bright Falls Record after one of our avid readers sent in this mysterious photograph as evidence of an unidentified creature roaming Watery's waters and making a rare but opportune appearance. This titillating spotting might just be the event of the year. As we dive deeper into this mystery, we here at the Bright Falls Record invite all our readers to a naming competition. What should our local beast be called? Watery Wanda? Shelly the Sea Monster? Send in your suggestions now. Will we be dealing with something like that later? Already seems likely we'll be dealing with a taken moose. Ooh, employees only. Why should I care? Ah, good, we can save here. Great. And there's a deer right here that we can pet. We seem to have some kind of weird connection to deer with this character. But yeah, I think I'm starting to figure out the nature of this GPU issue. It usually happens when transitioning between areas, including the Mind Palace, where every once in a while it'll just like almost double GPU usage and it won't go away until the game is physically closed and restarted.
You were a handsome deer.
It really was. But let's go see our apparent residence. You keep on rocking on, janitor. The world needs you. I love that animation of them just like glancing over as I approach, seeing me, and then hopping down, both turning to look at me and waving. It may seem like such a small thing, but it's so immersive.
All joking aside, yes, I would like to see my trailer. Do you have a spare set of keys?
Good for you. Yeah, I have a spare set.
they're just over at Coffee World. I'd get them for you, but Yaku and I have to head to Bright Falls. The spare keys are in the gift shop safe. I'll call ahead and have someone get them out for you. Oh, the road's flooded, but if you just follow this trail behind me, it'll lead you there.
Okay, let's do it
Call
then.
the gift shop so they can give Saga a hand. Yep.
But something tells me I'm gonna have to do this on my own, right? There's not gonna be anyone there when I arrive.
Nothing? What am I paying them for?
Yeah,
Is
that's
that
what I
busy?
thought.
Ay, Vito, Vito.
That's what I
Oh,
thought.
After they finally pick up, we really need to get over to Bright Falls for that, thing. Yep.
There's Coffee World. Need to get across the river.
No one there, yet all the rides still spinning in the fog. That's a real creepy image, but honestly kind of a cool one. Look at those big, bright, smiling faces just appearing. Alright, well, let's step around here so we don't get our shoes all muddy and soaked. And not that I am really going to have much say in that at this point. And our flashlight isn't doing much in this environment. So let's see. We started here. And this runs all the way up and around. Oh, wow. We've got a long way to go to get in through the back of Coffee World. Alright, F. Take some ammo. And how much do we have for the shotgun? We do have a decent amount. I'll try and save it for now. In the meantime, it's going to be all about moving as far as we can, as fast as we
What was that?
can. You got your gun out independent of me that time. Well, I suppose the flashlight can be used for fill light, if nothing else. It's only now that we... Oh my god! I didn't even realize what that was at first. I thought it was like a bug or a leaf or something.
FBI, show yourself!
Yeah, I think we're past that. That is so cool how she actually moves her light to follow the corner. Not a cultist, but a regular Taken. Although I'm not sure if there is a difference. Actually, no, the Taken do seem to dissolve on death, while the cultists leave a body behind, at least at first! So we're back to this trick again, are we? Nope. Nope, 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 nope. You come to me. You come to me. Two of you. Something about the fact that you bleed makes you so much worse.
More people turning into Taken. Is this the cult? Or the story? Or both?
You know, I call you guys my co-commentators, and you're certainly earning it. That's a very good question. Well, you do leave bodies behind, at least until the moment I look away. Wait, could we interact over here? This appears to be all decorated. Look, there's a giant scythe. And a generator right here. Oh no, are we bringing this mechanic back? Oh, we are. And it requires me to move my hands all the way across the keyboard to the Enter key. But that should provide us with at least a temporary safe haven. Oh, I am in so much trouble if we end up having to turn one of these on in a hurry. Let's get our quick save in. Ilmo's coffee is a lifesaver, even if he doesn't realize it. And let's be real, he does realize it. Manuscript page. Saga was beginning to see why Casey disliked the woods so much. They felt oppressive here. Too many places to hide. The distorted carnival music drifting from the amusement park ahead did not help. What the Koskelas had said about her living in Watery with Logan unsettled her. For the horror story to involve her was one thing, but involving her daughter was crossing a line. Something darted across the path ahead, too fast to see. Saga drew her weapon. Her eyes searched the woods. A noise overhead. Saga swiveled to look. A local. A man on the ridge above her. No, not a man. A monster with a hatchet in hand. It shouted down at her. Hunting season was a bust. Well, this is just our reality now, I guess. Hey, at least the good thing about the sun going down is that our flashlight starts to work, right? Is this all used for target practice?
A locked box. Is that the cult of the tree symbol on it?
If you take the crossbow out, put it back in the stash when you're done. Well, they're communicating with each other in English, suggesting that maybe they weren't taken before they were? Like, maybe getting taken is something that's done to them voluntarily. P.S. I changed the code as you asked. Okay, well, there's got to be a hint around somewhere, right? God, those sounds are so creepy. And there's that lighthouse on the hill over there. The Ferris wheel spinning in the fog, and what looks like a buoy in the swamp below. That is so weird. Was it maybe washed down here during the flood? Alright, let's continue on the trail. We are now officially back to that gameplay. And man, we can't reliably land those headshots, so these guys, they really pack a punch. Yep, I knew it. I knew I heard voices up ahead. Alright, we need more ammo then. Oh, this is leaning so much farther into survival horror, but it feels so much better to play as a result. Is there something up here? I mean, we can always consult the map. Safe haven over there. Let's get to it then. Oh, a tower. Only good things happen at towers in games. Wait. Wait, we're hearing a Pat Maine broadcast?
Terry Feldman. Terry, how are we today?
Hey there, Pat. Doing just fine. I'm a super big fan of the show. What a treat to be on with you today.
Make sure to say hello to Wendy Davis from our sponsor, Davis Family Beef Jerky, while you're there, all right?
It's so sad to hear him have to shoehorn in those ads in every one of these broadcasts. It feels like the small town is being taken over. All right, well, we're not getting in there. We're not climbing that. You know what? Fine by me. And another healing pad. You know, maybe I should actually be setting these to our quick slot. Maybe that would make more sense. But it seems that we're gonna have to go down.
Another one of those lunch boxes.
Just what I was thinking. Right over here. I lowered my rifle. Standing on the car's roof, I looked out at the carnage. The zombies had almost won, but luckily I was here. Heroes are sometimes the people we least expect them to be. Now my town was finally safe thanks to me. I slung the hot piece of iron over my shoulder one more time. Hopefully for the last time. The townspeople, cautiously emerging from their hiding places, surveyed the same carnage I saw, and cheered my name. And I waved and they cheered again. Now I could finally get back to my quiet, unassuming life, reading books and gardening and fiber crafts and being the world's top mycology expert. Suddenly, a hand seized my wrist. I looked into the eyes of the sweet, sensitive writer I had known since childhood. A smile spread across his beautiful, kind face, and I felt at peace for the first time since the zombies had first emerged. You did it. I knew you could. Now we can live in peace together for the rest of our days. Oh, they found my fan fiction. But we can get more manuscript fragments and maybe upgrade our pistol later on. Okay, so we do have enough for a couple of these. Increases the magazine size by 50%. Yes, I think we'll be taking that.
Saga had lost count of how many shots she'd fired, but she was sure it must have been more than she had in her magazine. And yet, she'd not run out of ammo. As if the magazine had grown to fit more bullets. She fired again.
Alan, can you write me a BFG 9000? Howdy, hiker. How you doing? No, you do not, sir. See, when we catch you in the open like this, you're at a serious disadvantage, especially... Oh, look at you. Especially when you're not even gonna try and zip around. You know, you would think I would have to start reporting this at a certain point. But I want to have another look at that case. Now I'm thinking it probably has something to do with these numbers right here. I mean, it's got to, right? And it seems like someone set up an impromptu shooting range. I don't want to waste the ammo on it. But let's see, 23571. Where have these things actually landed? Ooh, okay. I'm getting it. So first number is probably 5. Third number is probably 7. Second is 2. So it would be 5, 2, 7. How many are on here? Just 3? Okay, that was easier than I thought. 5, 2, 7. There we go! And we get the crossbow. If you aren't wearing the mask, this does not belong to you. I'll be sure to heed that. I wonder how this works. I can't wait to find a new Taken to try it out on. Ooh, and we can grab more ammo from right here. Very, very nice. I wonder if this isn't maybe like a headshot insta-kill. You let me grab these? Hello? Alright, we've got to try this on the very next enemy we encounter. And from the look of it, it's not going to be very long at all until that takes place, because once again, we are going down into the bog. Being in a place like this, with all this flooding, I can't help but think about that bloated corpse stalking me, watching me from the shadows. I'm still not entirely convinced he's really dead. I mean, like, for real this time. But we are getting closer. Anything up here that can help us? Ooh, another of these colored rocks. There must be another lunchbox nearby. And a whole stack right here. Ooh, look. Look at the peaks of that house, the little window and the chimney and the mist. I'm playing this on Halloween right now, right? So I'm getting such a vibe from this. This ain't work when it's this good to look at.
Another Alex Casey lunchbox?
What if it turns out that Casey is the one leaving these around just to entertain me? Hi, Hero. I think a few pieces of paper from my private fanfiction project got mixed into some of these stashes, but I don't know which ones. I posted some online and they're getting pretty good reviews, but I'd appreciate it if you didn't read them. It's a privacy thing. Okie dokie. Oh, that is so funny, but I think that more or less douses my idea that these are being left by members of the cult. But definitely someone who says Alan watches over us. There's a light on in that house. I mean, it's up to its windows and water, but there is a light on. Is someone trapped inside? Alright, enough procrastinating. Oh, according to this, that's probably the ranger cabin. God, this has to be the most unsafe, up-to-code park in the universe. That thing just towers over us like that. The only thing glowing in the dark. I really, really hope we're not soon to learn whether the birds are back, because I have a feeling the new flashlight mechanics wouldn't really work well with them. It's not just the one. The bumper boats are all just floating around down here. Alright, can we climb up over here? Yes, it looks like there's maybe a safe haven. Any of you want to try and intercept me before then? I've got some new hardware to test out. Have I mentioned that I'm a big fan of the environmental design in this game? I'm a really big fan, but it's also the kind of thing that makes me a little scared to progress. Oh my god! Why does it have to... Why did you do that, Ilmo? Why? Did you think that someone would find that enjoyable? Do you think that children will squeal with glee when they see it staring back at them? I'll help myself to your donut. Some more batteries. And another page. Scratch, oh no. Scratch stalked through the forest, a terrifying dark presence in the night, more sensed than seen. Darkness boiled in his skull like a storm cloud crammed into a bottle. That's what the guy was singing. The woods were alive with those he had taken. They were coming with him, directed by him, his army of darkness. Well, hell to the king, baby. His singular purpose was a sharp, pulsing black hole in his head, waves roaring out of it to whip his flock into a frenzy, filling them with his purpose. The clicker. He wanted it to make his horrific ending to the story come true. The art was there. The clicker would push it across the final threshold, a detonator to send out a tidal wave that would spread to overtake reality. He was so close to claiming it. This manuscript has been edited. The Taken gibbered and shouted, straining against their invisible leashes, filled with bloodlust. Scratch let them go. They launched themselves into the night with violent glee. He ripped a signpost from the ground, swung it in his hand as if it was made of air. Ahead, the music started. It called him on. Let the final Deerfest commence. That's his endgame. We're seeing a peek at the ending. Well, not if we have anything to say about it.
Hello? Anyone here? Nope.
Did they get out?
What do you think?
Did the Taken get them? Or were they turned into Taken? I'll need to get the key to the trailer park myself.
Sounds like you about covered all the possibilities.
The key is kept in the gift shop safe.
But how are we going to get the gift shop safe open? Oh, God, that music.
Locked. Need something to jimmy it open with. A list of maintenance work.
Okay. June 27th, Coffee World entrance sign defaced, cleaned with detergent, wax sign, should be good until someone tags it again tomorrow. Slow roaster pot is stuck, won't swing. Hit it with some WD-40, seems good for now. Fallen tree near Latte Lagoon, should probably call the tree guy, chainsawed and removed, keeping the wood. Several burned out bulbs on percolator, replaced and ordered more bulbs. And it's not as bad as the time they found a fish in it. We can collect as well.
A screwdriver. Huh.
Okay, well, maybe we can use that. Well, as eager as I am to start exploring this carnival of horrors, I'm all out of time for now. Next time we're going to start picking through this, but until then, if you like this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more creepy and comfy content. If you have any ideas for other videos you think I should do, the best place to suggest that will be at the Discord, which I will link in the description. If you want to try this game out for yourself, that link will also be in the description. If you want to support me on Patreon, that link will be in the description. And as always, I will see you in the next one.